Fog Entertainment back again with another movie review, and we're looking at the movie that won Leonardo DiCaprio his Oscar, and it is The Revenant. It is 8 years old. Is it his best work? Is it overrated? Well, I rate the movie. I think it's pretty good, but at the same time, I do feel like it is a bit overrated because I don't think it's his best work. And I think people probably agree with this. Like, did he deserve an Oscar for this compared to other movies like Titanic or even like Shutter Island or Wolf of Wall Street or Django? I feel like we're better. I mean, that's just to name a few movies of Leonardo's excellence in them. But in this one, we are in like the 1820s, I believe, and we've basically just got the Native Americans, we've got the French, like basically a whole fur trading mission going on here, and the camp comes under fire, and we're only left with like a small crew after the initial start, which I thought that the start was pretty good. Like this like continuous like action scene where it didn't look like there was any cuts whatsoever. Good gore, good effects. We do have like a decent enough cast here. We've got, of course, DiCaprio. We've got Tom Hardy playing like the main villain of the movie by the name of John Fitzgerald. We've got Will Poulter in there. All you know him from though is We're the Millers. He's called Jim. We've got Andrew Henney, Lucas Hayes, Paul Anderson for his Good Luck, and Christopher Jonah with quite a other stacked cast. But the rating on IMDb was an 8 out of 10, and it's a very gory movie if we're being honest. But eventually, after they're basically run out of tune by the Native Americans, are on the boat. They end up ditching the boat, much to Fitzgerald's annoyance. He doesn't want to ditch the boat. Again, was this the right decision to ditch the boat? Partly to Hugh Glass, it was DiCaprio's character. He's like, aye. He tells the leader, it was the right decision to make, big man. We did have to do that. And you know what? They did a good job in this of actually like making you feel like it was in these times. I thought like the visuals were brilliant. But again, I mean, I'm going to assume the budget on this movie was an absolute fucking shit ton. Yeah, 135 million, and the box office was 533. So I mean, I guess that is fair enough. We are introduced to Hugh Glass's son, who is called Hawk. So yeah, DiCaprio had a child with a Native American, which in this time would that not have been like incredibly unlikely? Like maybe not to have a child, but to actually like acknowledge it as your own. I feel like this would be incredibly unlikely. But here we are. He's got this son called Hawk. And then one night he's basically out hunting. He's trying to find the group food as they're trying to make their way back to their base. And then we get like a very good scene where he takes on a bear. And I don't really know how bears attack humans because, of course, I mean it's not like humans are their natural food or whatever. But like it batters him, and then it like just lies on top of him like it's Viscera trying to fucking rape you in like SmackDown versus Raw 2007. Didn't really understand this maneuver for the bear. It just seemed very weird. And then like DiCaprio's like trying to reload his pistol. He manages to like fire, or was it a shotgun? Might have been his rifle or whatever. He manages to hit the bear, but it just pisses off the bear. Then the bear grabs him again. He starts stabbing at him, and the bear roll down the hill. It was actually a pretty sad scene because, like, one, he's on his deathbed now, pretty much. The bear is dead. The cubs are motherless. They just walk away. So that was tugging on the heartstrings. That wee scene with the wee cubs get eaten, and then like the rest of the group find him, and Fitzgerald's like, "Damn it! He's gonna lead them right to us." It's like, hold on here. The guy just fought a bear and lived to tell the tale. And then basically, like the next hour of this movie is them trying to get like DiCaprio back to the camp. Then when it gets too uphill, they give up, and then his son Hawk, Jim, and Fitzgerald stay behind. And because they were told whoever stays behind will earn more money. And of course, Fitzgerald being a money thieving bastard, he does that. But I tell you what, like Tom Hardy in this movie looks really like he had lice in his hair. He looked really old. What age is he? I mean, he's 45. So when this movie came out, he was like, what, 38? I tell you what, though, he looked way worse than that. He looked definitely way worse. I mean, he looked about 50 in the thing, but again, pretty good acting. And then we've got Hugh. He's basically on his deathbed. I mean, he's literally lying there. Like, he can barely move. And then Fitzgerald tries to kill him, to which his son, Hugh's son, Hawk, comes in, spots him, he confronts him, he pulls a gun on him, he tries to get the attention of Jim, but as he's trying to get the attention of Jim, Fitzgerald stabs Hawk right in front of his dad. Hugh's just sitting there, DiCaprio. I mean, he does really good acting, I think, DiCaprio in this movie, in terms of like selling his injury and all that good stuff, but again, it's like, literally for like all the movie, he doesn't really speak, he's literally just selling an injury, which is good. I mean, I'm not going to bury him, but it's not like, yeah, I just feel like he's did better acting in other movies. But you know what? I'm not going to decry DiCaprio of an Oscar. I think he is an actor that deserves it. But realistically, I mean, how the Oscars really mean anything? Like, I mean, we see the state of Hollywood these days. It's not like getting an Oscar's the holy grail, in my opinion. But yeah, he disposes of Hawk's body. Jim returns. They're not really finding anything, but of course Hugh's that injured. He's not even weak, strong enough to speak, so he can't tell Jim. And then Fitzgerald wakes Jim up one of the next days, basically reveals to him, "Oh, a bunch of natives are coming, man. We've got to leave Hugh behind." He tries to bury him as well. Weird scene. And then basically after time, Hugh manages to find the strength. He finds his son's body, and then he makes his journey back to the camp to try and get Fitzgerald. But of course, news gets back to the camp that Hugh is still alive, and then that makes Fitzgerald shite himself. We do get a few scenes where the French and the Indians deal kind of collapses, and yeah, just a weird scene where like the Indian's daughter's getting raped by the French. She cuts his balls off, and then you've got Hugh who steals a horse and just rides off. Very weird, but it was done like a one take scene, which made it kind of cool to watch, I guess. But like a lot of scenes in this movie, but yeah. He returns to camp, but Fitzgerald, obviously hearing the news that he was on his way, has left, and then basically we get the final showdown between Hugh and Fitzgerald. At this point, basically, you know, Fitzgerald had killed your main man, Anderson. So yeah, and then a pretty gory, graphic fight scene, but I think we all know Hugh was going to win, and he throws him into the river, and then the Indians deal with Fitzgerald. And that is how the movie ends, guys, with Hugh Glass standing on top. What would I give this movie? I'd give it an 8. IDMB gave it an 8. I feel like it's a very good movie, but it's not quite, you know, top tier. But fair play to Leonardo. Fair play to him.